Many new knitters make the mistake of tying their yarns together when they need to join a new yarn to their project. While that is one way to join a new yarn, it's not the best way. That knot creates a bump in your work, and if you trim the ends close to the knot, it can unravel and create a hole in your work. There are many ways to join a new yarn. In this tutorial, I'm going to cover the ones that I use most often. So the first one I'm going to show you is pretty much called the drop and knit. So here I've been working with the pink yarn and I want to change to the green yarn. Now oftentimes you're going to change to the same color yarn because you just need to join a new skein to your project, but for this video I wanted to use contrasting yarns so you could see them better. So I'm going to give myself at least a 6-inch tail, and I'm going to hold the new yarn like I always do when I knit. So I knit continental style. I'm going to show that first, and then I'll show English style. So I have the tail of the yarn coming off this way over my finger here where I kind of control the tension. And I'm going to hold that tail with my middle finger behind the needle. I'm just pinching it against the needle just to give me a little bit of tension to make it easier to work. And then I insert the needle in the first stitch and I just knit it with that new yarn. Then I continue knitting with the new yarn and it is joined. Now the benefit of using this join is it's quick and it's pretty unnoticeable, except that oftentimes this last stitch with your old color and the first stitch with your old yarn and the first stitch with your new yarn are going to be very sloppy. So that is easily fixed though when you weave in your tails, because when you weave in your tails you can just kind of pull them tight to match the tension of the surrounding stitches. Now I'm going to show this English style, so I'm going to unknit these stitches to do it again. And English style knitters hold the yarn in their right hand, so I'm going to switch hands. And again, you want to hold the yarn like you do when you are knitting. So I hold my yarn like this when I knit English style. The tail is here, it's coming off this way so that I'm working the yarn toward the ball. You want to be careful that you don't knit your tail, but if you do, you will figure that out soon enough. So then with the first stitch, I just insert the needle, wrap the yarn around, and pull it through. Now, maybe it's because I don't knit English style as often as I do continental style, but I like to stop and make sure as I continue that I am working with the ball yarn and not the tail yarn before I do the next stitch. And then you just continue knitting like normal. And that joins the new yarn. Now you can do this join in the edge of your work like I showed, or you can do it in the center of your work. So to do it in the center of your work, again, you just drop the yarn that you're using, you pick up the new yarn, leave yourself plenty of tail, and you start knitting with the new yarn. Now I'm doing this continental style because it's exactly the same as we did before. Now the downside of doing it in the mid row is it leaves this hole here, which looks like a gaping hole right now. But if I turn it over to the back and I take, when it's time to sew in my ends, and I take this end and I sew it in this way, and I take this end and I sew it in this way, it will close up that gap when I sew in the tails, and the gap will not be noticeable. Now I want to show you a variation of the drop and knit where you can weave your tails in at the same time as you do your join. So I just dropped my old yarn, I knit my first stitch with my new yarn. Now I'm going to take the tail of the old yarn and wind it around my working yarn. So you can see here that the green is my working yarn, and the pink is my tail yarn, and it's just laying over top of the working yarn. And now I'm going to knit the next stitch. And then I will take that old yarn and wind it around the working yarn again. See how it's laying over top of it there, right behind the stitch, and knit. And I will show you how to do that English style. It's exactly the same. Again, it just looks a little different because of holding the yarn in your other hand. So now I'm going to take that yarn, the pink yarn, and just lay it over top of the working yarn, and then knit. And I'll show you one more time. Take that pink yarn, lay it over the working yarn, and knit. Now the downside of doing this is it takes a little bit of extra time, but it does save you time when you're done your project, because now you don't have to weave in your tails. It does help sometimes to give that tail a little tug, and then you can just continue knitting with your new yarn. Now I'm going to knit and show you how to work in the other tail. So I'm going to turn and start my row going back. Now in this swatch I have a garter stitch edge, so I'm going to knit those first 3 stitches and then begin purling for the main part of the swatch. Now this works if you're purling back. It does not work if you're knitting back. If you are knitting back, you're going to want to not do anything with the tail on this row, but then on the next row, your right side row, you can work in the second tail the exact same way I just showed you how to do the first one. But since I'm purling back, this will work. So now here's the tail. I'm going to give it a little tug to tighten that stitch because it got loose, and I'm purling, so I'm going to take that tail and just flip it over my working yarn, and sometimes it helps to hold it out of the way, so I'm holding it down and I'm going to purl. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to flip that yarn over the working yarn, and it doesn't really matter if you go clockwise or counterclockwise, whichever way works better for you, and purl. And again, I'll show it English style. Wrap the tail around the working yarn just one time, and then purl like normal. Wrap the yarn, the tail around the working yarn, and purl. Whoops. There we go. And then you might have to give the tail a little tug if it's looking a little bit sloppy. But this is what it looks like on the back. Here's my pink tail. Here's my green tail. The pink one was worked in here. The green one was worked in here. And if I flip the work over, you can see those tails are invisible on the front side. Now, after I knit a row or two, I will trim those tails to about 1.5 inches. I don't like to trim them immediately because I'm always afraid I might accidentally pull out short tails, but after a row or two, they're in there. I trim them down to about 1.5 inches. That way I know that those tails are already worked in, and if I have tails that are longer, then I know I have to work them in at the end. Other way to sew in your tails is to simply hold your old yarn and your new yarn together and knit usually 5 to 7 stitches with them held together. So here I have my working yarn coming off of the piece, and I'm running out, so I want to join a new yarn. I'm going to lay the new yarn on the piece like this and give myself plenty of tail. This section here is going to be the tail. So I want to make sure I give myself plenty of tail. And you'll see the tail of the old yarn is out here. The tail end of the new yarn is down here. And hold them together. Whether you knit English or continental style, it doesn't matter. I'm going to demonstrate this continental style, but if you do it English style, it's the same. Hold the yarn like you normally do, but you've got this tail, which I'm going to flip to the back, and you just knit them together. It's the normal knit stitch. You're just holding two yarns together. Now I'm doing this toward the end of my row because I wanted to show you. Okay, so now I'm going to drop my old yarn and continue knitting with my new yarn. On the way back, we need to knit those stitches as if they're one. So especially if you are using the same color yarn, because you just need more yarn for your project and your new ball is the same color as your old ball, you do have to be careful when you get to these stitches that you knit them together. So the first 3 stitches of my swatch here on this row are knit, and then the rest are purl. So I knit, now I'm going to purl these stitches, but I'm going to purl the 2 strands together into one stitch. Now the benefit of doing this method of join, and it's the join I use most often, is that you don't have to sew in your tails when you're done because they're already knit in. The downside is that because you're holding the yarn double for those few stitches, then that spot is a little bit thicker than the other spots on your piece. So you can't see that on the video, but trust me, you can feel it. On most projects, at least most projects I do, that's not an issue, but on some projects it will be an issue and you'll want to use another method to join. If you enjoyed this video, check out the full tutorial at knitalongclub.com, where I have more written instructions about joins and the best places to do them depending on the piece that you are working on, and some more information about each join and a little tidbits of kind of modified methods of these ways to join that I use depending on the project that I'm working on.